Some days, creating music seems impossible. You sit down and try to come up with something, but nothing feels quite right. But other days, creating music is like a wind of creativity coming from nowhere. The ideas seem to come without any effort and without even trying. So the question is, how can you have more days like this? Over the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about how to get started easily, how to finish songs, and how to make them better. I'm going to go through all the processes I go through when I create music, and hopefully some of that stuff can be useful to some of you as well. My name is Simen, and I'm a guitarist, music producer, and graphic designer from Norway. I'm here to share everything I learned so far in my journey and what I'm learning in real time. So let's look at the first common problem, is that we don't know where to start. So we need to figure out where to start. To fix this, first you need a cup of something, and then you should have an idea bank. Whenever you come up with something, record it on your phone, no matter how small the idea is. It can be lyrics, a guitar riff, a chord progression, guitar riff, and then mark your favorite ideas in some way. I use turtles. I don't really know how that happened, I just needed a way to mark my favorite ideas. And turtle is green, so it's easy to see the turtles. So you can use turtles if you want, but you can also use something else. That's up to you. But anyway, 1 turtle is good idea, 2 turtles are a killer idea. An idea from the idea bank is where you start. So now we have some ideas to work from. And if you sit down with your guitar or whatever your instrument is over time, you are going to collect different ideas over time anyway. If you're not doing that, you're not recording enough stuff because you have more ideas than you think. Okay, so now we have the idea to work on, and the next problem is that we might feel kind of stuck, like what should we do now? And I try to break down this, and in my opinion, the thing is that we don't really know what to create next. So we need to figure out a way to figure out what to create next. Sounds very simple, but I think it's useful to figure out what the problem really is. And the first way we can do that is to just create something, no matter how bad it is. It's better to have something than nothing, so just create something to start with. We like to think that everything needs to be perfect, but that's not how creating music works. But if you still feel stuck, here are some additional things you can try. Number 1, create in an unusual way. Maybe you usually write with your guitar, so then try to use your voice instead. Or maybe you like very ambient sounds, then maybe you should try to do something more dry instead. Number 2, listen and replicate. Find a song you like and take some elements of the song that you really like. Let's say you, for example, really like the snare of a song. Then you try to replicate the snare. Just a very simple way to start creating something. And it's good practice. Number 3, set a timer. Give yourself a limitation. Try to create something within a certain time frame. Number 4, create contrast. Contrast? If your chords change every bar in the verse, then try to change every second bar in the chorus. Or if you have very short notes in one section, try to maybe have longer notes in the next section, and so on. Try to do something different. Contrast. So now we have talked about how to start and also how to figure out what to create next. That leads us to our potential next problem. What we create sounds bad. There's a good chance what you're creating isn't perfect the first time, but in the end we want to create something we're proud of. So we need to figure out how to make it sound good. Something that has worked very well for me, which hopefully can work well for you too, is to create and iterate. Let's say you need a verse for a song. Create the first thing that comes to your head, or at least just create something. Doesn't need to be perfect, as we have talked about. And then you want to create a few options. Choose the one you like the best for now, and then just move on. And you can always come back later and change it if you're not satisfied. The thing here is to just start creating stuff, because once you start creating, it's going to be easier to create more and more and better stuff. And even if you have a finished song, you can come back to the sections and even change all of the sections. The key here is to not be afraid to create something that is not perfect, because you're not going to create something perfect by trying to make something perfect the first time. Okay, so now we have covered how to start a song, and that is by having an idea bank. And then we talked about some ways to figure out what to create next. And finally, how to create something that sounds better, or at least not bad. And since you watch until the end, you most likely got something out of it. So yeah, feel free to let me know what you think of this video. Because I'm kind of trying to see what kind of videos I enjoy creating for this channel. If you look at my past videos, that's like hundreds of just me playing guitar. So I'm trying some different kind of videos to just see what resonates. And I want to just try some different stuff, really. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you want to see something different today, I can recommend the video on the screen, which is how to create better videos for guitarists mainly, but the tips works for any video really.